Everybody, it's the 27th Sunday, but more upon the few, probably it's October 6th already, the first Sunday in October. Reading from the book of Genesis, chapter 2. The Lord God said, "It is not good for man to be alone, or make a suitable partner for him." I just want to focus on that word. It's not good for man to be alone. We say the greatest disease in the West today is not tuberculosis or leprosy. I'm sure maybe you can say cancer, certainly it's quite severe. But to me, perhaps one of the greatest diseases we're experiencing in our Western culture, it's being unwanted, unloved, and uncared for. Really, loneliness. We can cure physical diseases with medicine, but the only cure for loneliness, despair, and hopelessness is love. Many people now suffer from loneliness. It was really heightened by COVID. People had a very difficult time being cut off from others, and some still have not recovered from that. It affected our school children who need that social interaction. And still people suffer, and funny, we have so many ways to be connected to people, yet because of this, our phone or whatever computer, we are distanced from others. We don't know how to interact, all right? That's our poverty, that's our struggle. For the poverty in the West is a different kind of poverty. It's a poverty of loneliness and spirituality. As Mother Teresa said, there's a hunger for love and a hunger for God. Anyway, in the journal Public Library of Science and Medicine, Professors Julian Holt Lusted and Timothy Smith have studied the influence and power of relationships in people's lives, and the findings were astonishing. Their research showed that healthy relationships improve survival odds by 50%. For 7.5 years, these researchers measured frequency of human interaction, tracked health outcomes, and analyzed data for 148 previously published longitudinal studies. They found that not having vibrant connections has roughly the same impact on longevity as smoking 15 cigarettes a day, equivalent to being an alcoholic, more harmful than not exercising, and twice as harmful as obesity. Wow. That is not having close connections, relationships. And does not just apply that means one has to be married. You don't have to, married is not necessarily the answer. There are a lot of married people who are lonely as well. And maybe that might apply to you as well, which might mean a greater loneliness. So that's not always the answer, but it's having interaction, being connected. And unfortunately, sometimes our economics affect us. Those who are poor economics don't have the advantages of being in different clubs and outings, so they're lonely. Health has an effect. In your mobility, you can't drive. You live alone. You're just naturally being alone. That's one advantage, I guess, living in places like the Villages or, let's say, Del Webb. If you take advantage, there are many opportunities to interact with many people. There are things going on. There's dinners, games, clubs. That's all it's about. So there's advantage. I'm sorry to, not pinpointing, but the certain economic level you have to be there. But that's one of the blessings of it. It's up to you. You don't have to be alone. There's always something going on. You need to be connected. It's for your own health. Physical health, your mental health, and your spiritual health. And I always like to speak a big, strong proponent of small groups. So often those who are most lonely are the ones who, are hesitant to join. It's the unknown, what it would be like. I don't know anybody. Those feelings that we think teens suffer from. I don't know anybody, I don't have any friends. They never leave us, no matter how old we are. All right? And you have let's say you have something going on any place, but let's say the church, an activity. People ask, it's not so much what's going on. The main thing is who's going? Who's going? Who am I going to sit with? The fear of being a stranger. I want to put a sign up in a parish hall sometimes. No one eats alone. All right? I like to put that banner up to everybody see it. No one eats alone. I don't think we do it deliberately. I think we do mindlessly. We don't think about it, but there are people who venture in who may be visiting or they come alone and they, all right, go get a donut and they sit down at a table and they're by themselves. Others come in and they have their friends and they just naturally cluster together. But meanwhile, that individual, that man or lady are sitting by themselves, and what they end up doing is, as they munch on their donut, reading the church bulletin. Now, we can't have that. Either you sit with them or you invite them at your table. Of course, once you sit with them or you invite them to your table, and that alters your conversation, because now you have to, switch your attention, not just to you and your friends, but you have to draw in that, the individual into the conversation. And that's not always an easy thing to do, but that's what you got to do. We're responsible for everyone. We are responsible. No one eats alone. We got to reach out to others. Now, some people are quiet. Respect their, personality. Not everyone's, they're talkative. That's fine. But there's ways that making people know that they're welcomed. That you don't pump them, make them talk, but just know that you care about them and that they're always welcome. So loneliness is a terrible, terrible thing. It's unfortunately, it says the School of Medicine there at, where was it? I forget where it was, but it said that majority of people age 65 or older consider themselves lonely. Wow. And that's a lot of people that we know. It's dangerous. So I ask you to, one, for your own self, you find yourself not having enough friends, you got to take that step, force yourself at times, join a group, and work at a ministry. I guess I'm lucky. I work at the church. I have social contacts. But to be honest with you, if I didn't have the church, it'd be difficult for me as well. Sort of self-made. It's hard. A lot of us, especially men, when you get out of school, we lose those connections. And when we don't work anymore, when we retire, that was one place we had social interactions, but we don't. So please, push yourself, because it's for your own well-being, all right, for your own health, but also have your eyes open. Have your eyes open. Anyone who's alone, sitting by themselves, you could tell. You can tell. Take that step. I know it may be uncomfortable for you as well. You rather sit with your friends and enjoy your conversation, but be tender-hearted. Think of the other person. God bless you. I like to fight loneliness.